So I bought a 2007 Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Classic last spring, and great bike. Around town, 2-lane highways, works great, love it. But once I took it on the freeway for an extended period of time, just was not comfortable at 75, 80 miles an hour. And so I want to do a lot more traveling on some longer trips. So I decided I needed something that was better for the freeway. And initially I was looking at just getting like a Yamaha 1300, a little more power, but again it's geared a little better, but it's still not really what I wanted for the freeway. I'm still looking for a 6th gear. You know, and then when I started really considering the kind of riding that I want to do, I want to do some camping, I want to do some, 2, 3, 4 day trips around the Northwest. Later, when I have time and money, I want to do, more cross country, maybe go up into Canada. So I need the saddlebags, the locking saddlebags. I want cruise control, full instrumentation. The larger gas tank, of course, is nice. And it's just, when I really started sitting down and think about it, it became obvious that I was going to have to do more of a full touring bike in order to really get what I want. So, and of course I was initially looking at the Voyager because I already had the Vulcan 900. And I liked the Voyager. I was a little bit hesitant because of the weight of this thing. It's almost 900 pounds. But it just takes some getting used to. So when I finally decided that I was going to do, a touring bike, I didn't want a sport touring. I don't really like the style of them, and that's just not my style. So it really came down between this Harley Davidson and Honda Goldwing. And the Honda Goldwing, nice smooth riding bike, but I didn't really like the style of the new ones. So I decided, and plus it's more money. And Harley Davidson, same thing. I like the style of Harley Davidson, but it's more money to get what's the same thing. And so I went with the Voyager because of the finances. And I was going to wait till spring to get one, but the dealership marked us down, so we made a deal. I was going to get a used one, they had a 2010 with about 3,000 miles on it. It was a nice bike, but it didn't have the ABS brakes. A beautiful red on that year. But I decided I wanted to get a new one. So I started looking around for a deal on a new one, and the dealerships up here, they were about $1,000 difference on their advertised price. Their out-the-door price, however, they were only about $200 difference. So I was going to hold off a while, maybe wait till spring. And then a friend of mine in Vancouver texted me. He said the dealership down there had it marked down $3,500. So I contacted them by phone and email, and we made a deal. And then I went down Saturday, November 1st, or November 2nd, whatever that day that was, to pick it up. And it was just pouring down rain, absolutely dumping rain, a whole day. And so I had to ride it back about 130 miles in the rain. I had my rain gear and everything. It wasn't really a big issue. With the full fairing and windshield, the rain really isn't that big a problem. Temperature-wise, I think I was about 60 degrees out. So as long as you're dressed for it, it wasn't really an issue. This thing is lit up pretty good on the front. You got the driving lights. You got LED lights across the trunk, so people can see you pretty good. A lot better than the 900. It's got lockable luggage. Get two 10-gallon saddlebags. Got the trunk is 13.2 gallon. It will hold two full-face helmets. You have two glove boxes up front, and of course it's got stereo and full instrumentation. You know, fuel gauge, speedometer, tach, temperature gauge, digital odometer, tripometers. You got your fuel consumption and a clock, and you also have the gear indicator. Gear indicator comes in handy. I kind of miss having a gear indicator on that 900. It didn't have a gear indicator. I kept losing track of where I was on the gears. It doesn't seem like much, but those little things make a difference. So this bike pretty much has everything I want. It's got the ABS brakes. It's got the Kawasaki KX technology. So if you engage the front or the rear brake, if you're over 18 miles an hour, it will engage all the brakes. If you're under 18 miles an hour, it just engages whichever one you engage. The combination of that and the ABS gives this thing pretty good stopping power. And with a 900-pound bike, and you got a couple of people and load it down, you got probably 1,200 pounds that you have to stop. That's over a half a ton. And so you've got to be, I wanted that stopping power. That's another reason I didn't get the 2010. It didn't have the ABS brakes. If it had had the ABS brakes, I might have seriously considered that one. But I did decide that I just wanted to get a new one. I hadn't had a new bike or a new vehicle for quite a while. This might be the last, major bike that I buy. I may get. I still have the 900. I'll probably end up selling that this spring, and I may get another little bike. But this will be the main. This is my main bike. And when weather permits, this is my main transportation. And with the saddlebags and the trunk, I can go to the store, I can run a lot of errands. There's a lot of things I can do with this. The 900 pounds it does take some getting used to. When you're on the road, it doesn't make a bit of difference. 900 pounds, 600 pounds, feels the same. But when you're maneuvering around a parking lot, or you're trying to back it up and things, then you really notice it. And so you got to be more careful where you park this. My driveway is a little busted up, so I can't pull this in and back it up the way I did the 900. I had to do it a little bit differently. But it's just a matter of adapting to that weight. Not really a problem. Stop and go traffic. Once you get used to it, not really an issue. But it does take some getting used to if you're not used to dealing with this heavy a bike. Then of course it's water cooled. I just wanted water cooled because of the stop and go traffic I end up in here sometimes. You get in the middle of summer, traffic's backed up, and it's just stop and go for an extended period of time sometimes, and you're just sitting there cooking. So I wanted the water cooled. One of the things that kind of made me not consider the Harley. Harley Davidson, they're nice bikes, but I'm not a brand type person. I don't care, what brand it is. All the manufacturers have some pretty decent bikes out there these days. So wasn't too concerned about brand, but price and value, what you get. Okay, stay in your lane there, bud. Does make a big difference. Yeah, this bike has, quite a bit, almost everything that I really want. I don't have to do much to it. The only thing I've done so far is I added a USB port, charging port, and a Bluetooth receiver in the left glove box, so that I can feed my phone through the stereo system, and I can put my phone in there and charge it if it's raining out. My phone mount there also does have a charging port on it. Comes in handy to be able to plug it in while you're using GPS. I may, if I do some traveling across country, I may end up getting a regular GPS unit. But for most of what I do, you know, the phone works just fine. The other thing I put is the mirror extensions on there to bring the mirrors out a little bit so I can see a little better behind me. That made a big difference. They were a little bit close in. The only other thing that I've got highway pegs coming. I don't like driving with highway pegs, but on a long trip on the freeway, I've discovered that it comes in real handy just to be able to put your leg up there for 5 minutes or so and stretch out, and you don't have to pull over. You can keep on going. So I did order some of those. They should be here in a couple days. The only other major thing that I need to get for it is a luggage rack. Kawasaki makes a tubular luggage rack for it. Weighs about 4 pounds. I mean, it looks okay. And the other company that makes one is Cobra. Makes a flat chrome steel one for it. That is, but it weighs 16 pounds. So I was a little hesitant on that one, but according to the people on the forums, it's not really an issue. You can't really put too much on the luggage racks anyway. I mean, it is bolted to the top of the plastic trunk lid, so it won't handle too much weight. The one from Cobra, because of the flat steel, it sits pretty flat against the plastic, so it looks like it's be pretty secure. So I'm probably going to go with that one. Price-wise, the Cobra is actually a little bit cheaper right now. I think you can get it on Amazon for about $165 or thereabouts. The Kawasaki tubular one is, I think, $189 or up in that neighborhood. So not a big difference between them. Looks like our traffic's getting a little heavier. So other than that, you know, someday I may flash the ECU. I haven't really decided. I'm not going to do anything with the exhausts. I don't care about I don't want to make it any louder. And as far as power goes, not really concerned. It's got more than enough power, so that's not really an issue. So other than flashing the ECU, that might be the only other thing I end up doing to it. I won't be able to do that for a while. I want to get it, you know, broke in a little more before I can do anything like that to it. I've only got 1,268 miles on it right now. So I mean, technically it's broken, but realistically, a couple more thousand miles to start breaking in a little better. I could go over into the HOV lane, but I don't really want to go that fast. I'm just kind of cruising along. Just go with traffic. I'm not too concerned about beating everybody. It's not a race. You know, when I was younger, I would have been zipping around these people big time. But now, don't really care. Yeah, when I was younger, I would have been zipping around and trying to beat everybody out here. And if I was younger, I probably would buy a more of a sport touring bike, like maybe the Concourse. It's a nice bike. Concourse is a nice bike. But for my style now, that doesn't quite fit me. Yeah, and now I got over 1,000 miles on this thing. Starting to really get used to it more. It is much more comfortable on the freeway. So I've taken a couple of 300-mile trips, not real long, but a couple of 300-mile trips, and I'm just not anywhere near as tired. I didn't have to stop as often. I didn't really have to stop at all other than to get gas. But the seat on this thing is so much more comfortable than the 900. The thing is much smoother on the freeway, and the seat is much more comfortable. So much better. It's smoother, but the roads aren't any smoother. Some of these roads are absolutely terrible. You really got to be careful on some of these. There's some major potholes and bumps on some of the stuff you got to watch out for. Turned out to be a nice day today. We're probably about, it should be around 40 degrees out there right now, probably, somewhere in that neighborhood. So 40 degrees, cruising, sun shining, not bad at all. You start getting down around freezing, it's more of a problem. You know, buzzing around town, doing something that's at 30 degrees is okay, not really an issue, as long as it's not icy. If it's below freezing, I won't really go running around much. Around here, sometimes you get a lot of moisture in the air. You start dropping below freezing, and there's just too much frost and ice in different places, even after the sun's been out for a while. So it can get rather dangerous. So later, when we probably got another 4 to 6 weeks of cold weather, and then we'll start getting into some more decent weather. We're supposed to get up mid-40s, possibly closer to 50 middle of the week, but it's going to be pouring down rain, so I don't mind riding in the rain some. Yeah, if it's light rain, I won't necessarily let that stop me. If it's pouring down rain, you know, I mean, if I got someplace I have to go, I can do it, but if I don't need to, I won't do it just for a enjoyable ride. one of the next things I need to get is a Bluetooth headset. But I'm not rolling in cash, so I gotta space things out. So I need to get a dual pack, so when my daughter's on the back or somebody's on the back, they can be talking. Or my daughter's wanting to get a bike this spring, and then we'll do some cruising this summer. So the Sena Bluetooth, I think it's the 20S, I believe. It has like a half-mile distance on it that you can talk to somebody. They have there's a cheaper version, but it's only got like a quarter-mile radius. Quarter mile is not very far, not when you're traveling on the freeway. Half-mile would be enough, probably. And of course, if you get too far away, just use your phone. And of course, you can feed your phone through the headset. There we go, downtown Seattle. A little hazy. Some days it's really clear. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been up to Seattle. We usually end up going the other direction. It looks like there's fewer construction cranes than there used to be. There's still quite a few. I know a couple of years ago there was like 42 high-rise construction cranes downtown. Looks like maybe there's a little bit fewer this time, but Amazon still, I think they're still working on some of the Amazon campus. least traffic is flowing around pretty good. Last time I came up this way, it was just stop and go all the way through Seattle. Took forever. But we haven't had to slow down much this time. And we're going underneath the convention center. Yeah, I'm not going to stop in downtown Seattle. Go head on north. I don't feel like maneuvering around downtown Seattle. Dodging pedestrians. Dodging car doors. Downtown Seattle is not bad really to maneuver around once you realize how it's laid out. How the one-way streets run and whatnot. It's not too bad. But you have to have some patience when you're going through downtown. You can't be in a hurry. Sometimes you have to wait for delivery vehicles. You've got, people crossing the street. You've got bicycles. You've got all kinds of things. And you just can't be in a hurry. And of course, the bad thing about a lot of these areas is there's really no place as parking is an issue. You almost have to use parking garages in a lot of the areas to find a place to park. When I lived here, I lived in Seattle. Oh my goodness, probably what's it been? 35 years ago now. At that time, I could go downtown, find a place to park without having to pay. Not a big problem. Now, good luck with that. The downtown, everything has changed so much over the years. So many new buildings in the last 10 years. A lot of new buildings. You got all your, yeah, of course you got Amazon, you got Zulily, I don't know, you got some other ones downtown. And we're heading north. Off to the right over there is University of Washington. Uh-oh. Looks like heading south is backed up a little bit. Oh, we may have to stop and get something to eat and wait for traffic to clear a little bit before I head back south. Unless I go over to take 405 down through Bellevue. We could go up and catch 405, take it back down the other way. Take 405, 167. That's the bad thing about around here is you never know when traffic's going to be backed up and stop and go. You know, on the Vulcan 900, I did change it over to synthetic oil, and it runs noticeably cooler with the synthetic oil. I did notice a distinct difference. I changed it over in the middle of the summer. Yeah, so I really did notice a difference on it. I haven't decided if I'm going to change this over to synthetic yet. The first oil change I did at 600 miles, and probably next month I'll do another oil change after this gets broken a little more. I'll do another oil change before I start putting some miles on it in March. Changing it over to synthetic, as long as it's the right rate, does not affect the warranty. This one is authorized to use synthetic on it, not an issue. But you do have to be careful what you do to the bike. If you do something out of the norm, if Kawasaki determines that what you did caused the problem, they won't cover it under warranty, of course. So you make some modifications to it that they deem caused an issue. It won't void the entire warranty, but they may not warranty those particular repairs if they think that something you did was responsible for it. And but for the most part, doing most of your normal stuff to this, most people don't have a real problem with the warranty. Just make sure you maintain the maintenance and keep maintenance records. If you don't have any records of doing maintenance, that could be an issue. I am doing my own maintenance, and so I am keeping written records of what I did and when. I'm keeping records of the oil that I bought, filters that I bought, and I have the checklist on the maintenance, and I go through it and do it. And I will do that on the next maintenance as well. I'll keep a record every time I do an oil change or do something to it. I will maintain a record of it. I have a service manual coming this week. I need that before I get in and do the next maintenance. Really, for doing the last maintenance, I was able to get torque specifications and everything online. But I want the actual manual and whatever updates there are for it before I headed to doing the next maintenance. What the fuck here, buddy? Come on, you want to move over? Move over. Come on, come on. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. There you go. You really got to watch these people. I mean, people don't do it on purpose, but sometimes they're just not paying attention, especially when it comes to changing lanes. You know, in some cars, I don't know about these mirrors and stuff, some cars it's real difficult if they don't have the mirrors adjusted properly to see who's in the lane beside you. I was probably riding in his blind spot, which was a mistake. I shouldn't have been hovering in his blind spot. You know, I mean, he should have seen me, but still, if you're going to drive defensively, and then you got these people trying to squeeze in at the last second. My tires were a little bit low today, So I pumped them up. I'll have to check them again. If they start getting low fairly soon again, I may have to pull them off, take them down, have them reseated or check for leaks. Volkswagen Golf. Stupid name for a car. Temperature is out. It feels warmer.